Hi, I'm Josh Monahan, Service Manager for Commercial Parts and Service here in Columbus, Ohio. We also have a branch in Cincinnati and Dayton. We are a CPS certified company, and today we're going to go over some tips for a dish machine. These are the common tips that we have. Once we go through these, if the problem does not resolve itself and you're still having an issue, it's highly recommended with any of the other equipment that we've gone over to definitely call in a CPS certified company to make a repair and get the machine to operational level. So today we're going to talk about dish machines. Everybody's got one. Everybody likes clean plates, right? So today we're dealing with a flight machine. Flight machine is called that because you put a rack in, it does the rest of the work for you and spits it out at the end. One of the most common problems, power. Most units are hardwired, meaning there is no plug. You cannot unplug it, plug it back in, or try a different outlet. This will have a breaker. If you come in the morning or at night, you come to the machine, you turn your button on, and nothing happens, the first and only thing that you could do would be go to your breaker, find the breaker that is powering this unit, and turn that breaker off and back on. You flip the breaker off and back on and nothing happens. At that point, you most definitely need to call a CPS certified technician to come out and investigate what the problem is. So one of the other issues you're gonna run into potentially is floats. There are many different styles, but primarily what you're gonna have is every dish machine is gonna have a float. It's gotta know where the water level is. So it's gonna come up, it's gonna activate, it's gonna tell the boards and tell the machine, I have enough water, let's, number one, heat, and then number two, I have enough water, so stop filling. So either one of those could be lined up. They have magnets, some of them have magnets in it, so they will have debris and can have debris on there. So those are things that you can check. Basically, they can be cleaned off, very simply. That's just your finger, a little green scouring pad, which is common in every kitchen. Once you do that and clean it up, if the machine is still not heating, not filling, or overfilling, then in that case, you definitely have to call a certified CPS technician to come out and check this, because that means that there's something internally within the boards and electronics that is causing the issues. One of the other issues you're gonna run into on machines is you wanna make sure that the drain is closed and sealing. You will notice this when you turn the unit on and the water is, you'll hear water flowing on the floor. That typically means that the drain, or the drain plug, whichever terminology you wanna use, is not in position correctly and allowing the unit to not fill. Obviously, if that isn't filling, it's not gonna activate the floats, it's not gonna heat, it's not gonna stop running with water. It's gonna continuously fill. All right, so we've gone over basically turning the unit on, getting it to where it's ready to be operated on. Then you've gone through your day, you've worked on it. It's done its job, it's run its dishes, you've got your clean dishes all put away. One of the most important factors after that, and to increase the longevity of the machine, would be daily cleaning. It is recommended that about every 4 hours that you drain, refill the unit with fresh water. Now, along with that is, on dish machines such as this, and typically any machine will have what we call water strainer or strainer, which is, best way to describe it is like an air filter at your house or in your car. If that thing gets plugged up, that thing's not gonna allow the water flow to move through the unit properly, which in turn is going to affect the operation of the unit. So every 4 hours or so, depending on the usage, it is highly recommended that your personnel break the unit down, opening up the unit, taking out the strainers, taking them over, cleaning them out, dumping out the food and the particles that have collected in these strainers. Once you get that done, you put the unit back together, turn the unit back on, and go through the sequences that we previously discussed, making sure the drain's in place, then it'll hit the floats, it'll start to heat, it'll fill, water will shut off, give it time to reheat, and the unit will be operational again. Typically, that cleaning sequence shouldn't take you very long. Anywhere from 15 minutes to a half an hour, depending on the severity of what type of food or how much usage has been with the unit. One of the other problems that you might occur is, believe it or not, is curtains. If these are not in the proper location, it can and will affect the operation. Every machine will have a sticker posted on it to tell you long, short. It's there for a reason. It's there to help the flow and the operation of the unit. It's specifically designed for that particular setup. If they are not in the correct location, are worn or missing, tore up, it's not gonna work well with the operation of the unit. It's gonna allow water to spray everywhere. These curtains are very accessible, very easy. They come out very simple. They can be purchased, from CPS, from any certified Sefesa company. And it's highly recommended to make sure that those, along with the strainers and everything, when you're done with the cleaning, that are back in place in the proper location. One of the things we do need to touch on is temperatures and operation. Once you've got the unit up, everything's satisfied, the unit will begin to heat. Now there are two ways that this happens. We have what's called a booster heater, which will take your house water and do just that, boost the water temperature. It will take it from a set temperature to a higher temperature to help make the machine not have to work as hard. Pretty much standard across the board, your operating temperatures for typical conveyor flight machines or any other machine is going to be 155 to 160, 65 max is your wash temperature. Meaning as you put something through the machine, that wash temperature, which will be displayed, will reach and read 155 to 165. Once it reaches a certain point in the machine, it will then activate the final rinse, which needs to be the very minimum 180 degrees, but can fluctuate to 195-ish, depending on the situation. If it gets much hotter than 200, or it could have a tendency to do some damage to the plates and utensils going through. So it's very important that once you have used the machine, got it up, everything's running, and it's ready to go, that once you put the first rack, second rack, third rack, by the third rack, you should see everything cycled at your set operating temperature. If those temperatures do not and are not making their mark, then most definitely you need to call a Sefesa certified company. CPS can come out, double check everything, make sure that the temperatures, everything operationally is working correctly, and make the needed and necessary repair to make sure that you are within state and health guidelines. So we've gone over some of the basics. No other easier way to put this to an analogy than like a car. Car runs better when it's clean and maintained. If you've gone through the basics of what we demonstrated today and you're still having an issue with the operation of the unit, I would highly recommend that you contact CPS. We are a Sefesa certified company and we are available 365 days a year.